Hi, this is Nakul Abhyankar and welcome to Logic Pro X Made Easy. In this video, I'll be talking everything about the tracks. Logic Pro X has numerous number of tracks and each track has a specific reason. So I'll be taking you through creating the tracks, explaining what each track is meant for, and at the end of the video, I'll be talking about the important key commands that are required to deal with these tracks. So let's dive in. So let's create a new session. A pop-up comes up which asks you to create a track, which means that you cannot open a Logic Pro X session without having a track in it. And straight away you can see there are 5 types of tracks. One is called software instrument track, another one is called audio track, there's a drummer track, external MIDI track, guitar or bass track. Software instrument track is the track where you can load your virtual instruments like Kontakt, Omnisphere, any sort of synths like Silent or Serum, whatever you want to, or even the native Logic synthesizers and stuff like that. Audio track is to record anything from the real world into the digital world. Drummer track is a feature which Logic Pro has introduced where they have made drum programming really easy. If I choose rock and hit create, then it'll have a rock kit already present with some rhythm loops and fills and stuff like that. External MIDI is it's a track where you can connect all the hardware synthesizers or your iPad if you want to record the synthesizers which are there on your iPad into Logic, or if you want to record hardware synths like these or the Moogs or the Cogs, whatever you have, you use external MIDI tracks. And guitar or bass track is also a type of audio track. To record guitar or bass, all you have to do is click on create and you'll see that an audio track opens up with some plugins in it already. It'll have a guitar amp, it might have a noise gate, etc. It might have an EQ or a compressor, but the sound is already defined by them. Of course, you can modify it, but it's a good point to start. So if I click on software instrument, you'll see the track like this, and here in the inspector, you can see that by default in my computer, EXS24 sampler opens up, and it's showing EXS24 because I'm still using 10.4.6 version. And if I click on this drop down menu here, I can choose any VST that I want to load. So that's software instrument track, and let me create an audio track. So as soon as you click on create track, which is right here, that plus button, this pop-up opens up and there are various options where you can assign audio input, audio output. I'll come to these options later, but if I want to create a single track right now, let's say I want to record whatever I'm speaking, and that's going to my input 12 into my UAD. So I'll select input 12 and audio output has to go to the stereo out, which is 1 plus 2. So I'll say create, and you can see that the signal coming in. Now I can record my voice into it. All I have to do is hit R and just hit record button, and you will see that my voice records there. Hello, check. There you go. So that's audio track. And let me create a drummer track quickly, and as I said, I'll create rock. And you can see that the whole drum kit opens up. There's already a loop that's present. Of course, it can be modified. Now you can see there are various options where you can control the dynamics of the loop, saying simple, loud, or if you want a complex pattern, it'll change accordingly. If you can just observe this waveform, you will get to know. Patterns keep changing, and you can control what kind of percussion you want in it, either a shaker or a tambourine or a clap. How many fills do you need? So as I increase, the number of fills go on increasing in the waveform. And if I want from a straight groove, if I want a swing groove, then I can just move the swing up and I can get it. Check this out. And the kick and snare, you can just increase the number of kicks or change the patterns of the kick and snare by choosing different. There are 8 types given here. And if you want to add more loops, you can just hit plus, which you just hover the mouse to the end and you can just click on plus, and it'll go on adding loops. And this is already synced with your project tempo, so you don't have to worry about it. If I change the project tempo, you can see that the loop adjusts itself. That's the drummer track. External MIDI. So basically, why do we need external MIDI for a hardware synth? Simply because, let's say I want to play some proper lead or a chord. I'm creating a dubstep track and I really love one of the tones from my Matrix Brute and I want to record it. I have to be really precise if I want to directly record my synth as an audio input. But if I can have an option where I can record it as a MIDI and then quantize it and then just reprint it, why not? I don't have to struggle playing the music for some like 10-15 times to get the timing exactly right and then use audio quantizing, which might destroy the signal and stuff. Instead, I'll just record the MIDI and I'm through. I'll just quantize it, re-record the tone, and I have my Matrix Brute syncing with my music 100%. So I create external MIDI. I'll select MIDI destination as my Matrix Brute. I can select all, but I'll just select the first channel and I'll say create. And when I trigger the signal, you can see that Logic is reading my Matrix Brute signal here. So that's external MIDI. And finally, you have guitar or bass. Nothing great. Let's say I have plugged my guitar to input 1 on my audio interface. I'll just select input 1 and I'll say create. You can see that Logic has predefined this whole channel strip with plugins. It's loaded. It has a noise gate. It has a pedal board. Pedal board has a high drive and squash compressor. There's an amp here. It's a typical guitar channel strip. There's an EQ. If you want the tape delay, you can turn on the tape delay. But it's a great way to start playing the guitars. But that's just Logic has made your life easy. If you don't know what plugins go into processing the guitars, you can just look at the sequence and understand from it. And in the arrangement window, you can see the tracks laid out like this, and these are the track numbers. And if you check on the MIDI track here, the software instrument track, you have something called as R, which is record enabled button. You have S, which is to solo, and you have a mute, which is to mute the track. And this is the volume fader, which is nothing but this one. So you can see if I move the fader here, even that one moves there. And that's the pan knob. You can see again, it's there's one here, and it's the same one which is in the inspector as well. It's just Logic has made your life simpler by giving you the fader and pan knob here. For example, when I'm talking and let's say my software monitoring is on and I want to hear myself on my headphones as I speak, I just click on R to record and hit on the I button so I can hear myself on my headphones. These are the typical 5 tracks which are used to make music, and there are certain tracks which are used for processing. There's something called as an auxiliary track which is used for parallel processing. So basically, if you want to add reverb or a delay, or if you want to do parallel compression, all you have to do is go to your software instrument track, or you can go to any track, and you will see a column called sends here. I'll just go to bus and I'll select bus 2, and Logic will automatically create an auxiliary channel track whose input is bus 2. So what happens is, all I have to do is just increase this. Let's say I throw in a reverb, let's say I throw in a chroma verb, and I just increase the bus gain, and I can hear the reverb on the voice. So for people who do not understand or who are not very sure about parallel processing, it's extremely simple. Instead of adding any kind of processing plugin to the signal directly, let's say I have my voice, and if I want reverb on it, instead of directly adding the reverb or the delay on the voice straight, I create a copy of that voice and then process that by adding reverb or delay. So what happens is, I can decide how much of the dry voice I need and how much of the processed voice I need. Let's talk about duplicating the tracks. If you want to duplicate a particular track, you can hit this one. It's called new track with duplicate settings. If you want to solo a particular track, you can click on the solo button, and region solo is this button here. There are 2 more types of tracks which I want to explain. One is called as a stack track, and another one is called VCA. So stack track is basically stacking the existing tracks in the session. So let's say, for example, I'm programming a song, and I didn't really worry about how many number of tracks I'm creating, and by the end of the day, you have used some 4-5 types of kicks or some 8 types of bass tones, but you want to just export the entire thing as one track. So let's assume that this is my bass 1 and that's my bass 2. So what I can do is I can just select all the tracks and I can right click on them and say create stack track. There's a pop-up that comes up asking which track type you want to create. Do you want a folder track or a summing track? In a folder track, it's just a folder which has a fader, mute and solo button. You can't process the entire group. But in case of summing track, this track acts as a parent track to all these. So all these tracks are going to bus 1, and this sum track has an input of bus 1. So all these tracks are going into this one, and the main parent track or the stack track has input options, insert options, sends options. Basically you can process the entire group and send it out. Now while exporting, this becomes very easy, because if let's say these are like 6 bass tracks, all I have to do is select this and hit export, and it'll just export all of my 6 bass tracks as one track. One of the last types of tracks that I want to explain is called VCA track. Let's say these 5 tracks are together. Let's say I want to control all 5 of these tracks together with just one fader. Basically such scenarios come in when you're mixing a group, or when you want to record something, you just want to assign all the keys to one track, or you want to control all the strings together, but you don't want to mess with the individual mixes that they have within themselves, but as an entire group, as like string section as a whole, or guitars as a whole, you just want to reduce or increase the volume. What you can do is you can just select the tracks, go to your mixer by hitting X, and go to options and say create new VCA for selected channel strips. Once you do that, there's a VCA that comes up, and essentially it controls the volume of all of these tracks. Let's say these are all my bass tracks, and instead of selecting everything and then bringing the volume down, I can just leave them at 0. And if I want to reduce the volume of bass, I can just call this as let's say VCA bass, and then just reduce the volume of bass, increase it. And if I want to monitor, if I want to listen to the whole track without the bass, I can just mute the VCA and all the bass tracks get muted. I will give you some important key commands so that you can use them while working. Let's dive into the Logic session again. Now, if you want to duplicate the track, just hit Command D. Whatever this track setting is, it'll just duplicate it. Exact carbon copy. Now, let's say you have 4 tracks and you want to create a stack track. All you have to do is hit Shift, Command and D. Most of the times what happens is, let's say I load Omnisphere. When I load Omnisphere, you'll see that if I go to multi, I can load 8 tones within one Omnisphere. So now you can see that each tone is going to channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. These are the outs. Now, how do I get those tones on individual tracks here? I have to just select the track, go to the inspector, drop down the track menu, and you can see MIDI channel, which is on all as a default setting. Select 1 and you can see channel 1 here. Now all you have to do is hit Control Enter, and you can see that same track is duplicated but with different channel number. Now I can trigger 8 Omnisphere tones with just one instance of Omni. You can apply this on Kontakt, you can apply this on any of those VSTs which let you load multiple tones on different channels. So when you're working, you constantly have to zoom in and zoom out to see what is there in the track, and also to get an overview picture. Easiest option to zoom in and zoom out horizontally and vertically is just to hold Command and arrow key. Now if I have multiple tracks, let's say you want to just zoom the selected track. What you can do is you can select the track and just hit Ctrl and Z. Any track you select will zoom itself in or become big. And if you want to toggle this back to normal, you can just hit Ctrl Z again. And let's say all the tracks are big and there are like multiple tracks in your session, and you want to see all the tracks together. I have like 14 tracks right now, but everything is so huge right now, and maybe certain tracks are small, certain tracks are too big, and it's all unequal. If you want a really nicely arranged session, if you end up in a case like this and you want everything to become same, all you have to do is go to the first track, go to the last track, and press shift and select the last track. And by holding shift, if you navigate your mouse here, you can see that the arrow changes to another option. Hold the shift button and just click and everything becomes same again. All you have to do is zoom out and you can see that all the tracks move together. All the tracks have same size. So that's about it. See you in the next video.